Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. And today we're going to be starting my GamesMaster magazines. I've got a load of these on PDF, so we're going to be going through them. There's loads of them. So this is GamesMaster magazine, issue 1, January 1993. The greatest show on TV is now a magazine at £1.75. Sega, Nintendo, Amiga, more. So we've got Mega Drive, John Madden 93, Lotus Turbo Challenge, Road Rash 2, Super NES, Kickoff, Robocop 3, Wing Commander, Amiga, Elite 2, Nigel Mansell's World Championship, James Pond 3, 20 pages of tips from the Master. So this is Chopper Frenzy, Desert Strike, The Ultimate SNES Blast, Gunship 2000, the ultimate Amiga sim, plus all the latest news on Neo Geo, PC Engine, Mega CD, Game Boy, Game Gear and Lynx. So this is the, we're going to do them in 2 pages like this, so it will be better if you put it on a big screen. So we've got Ocean, Nintendo, Game Boy, what were they called? I remember that game. Global Gladiators, that's it. That looks a bit like Rainbow Islands. Lemmings. The hits keep coming. Game Boy. Official UK launch, 14th of November. Why did the hedgehog cross the road to get to Super Mario Land 2? How much fun can you handle? So issue 1, January 1993, stop. Yeah, they were brilliant, GamesMaster. The greatest show on TV is now on paper. This is the very first issue of GamesMaster magazine. If you're a fan of the TV show, you'll be familiar with lots of our sections and characters. If this is your first GamesMaster experience, we hope you enjoy it. For a more detailed introduction, turn to page 8. But for now, take a look at what's in issue 1. So we've got the contents, which is network, TV news, charts, games arena, previews, Dominik's big purple column. Win a bloody enormous telly. Win the ultimate game station. Reviews, sub survey, Christmas starts here. Secret level and next month. Tips zone, consultation chamber, games arena. Yeah, them graphics were state of the art back in 1993. I used to love it. I used to love GamesMaster. Network, greetings, and for the uninitiated, welcome. Welcome to this very first issue of GamesMaster, the official mag of the scorchingly popular and utterly excellent Channel 4 show. Future show rocks nation. Thousands of happy, if slightly pointy-headed gamers queue outside the big, if slightly bendy, Earl's Court 2. That must be where they film it. BBC Radio 1. A tense moment for Sonic, who, bereft of his red speedy shoes, trips on some cable and takes a tumble earthwards. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is a big hairy man who hits people with planks of wood for fun. So you got the GamesMaster team. The network. Blister busting joypad unveiled. It's a revolution in video game playing, claims Hornby Hobbies of their new Turbo Touch 360 touch sensitive joypad. I remember that controller. It weren't very good. I think I tried it once years and years ago, but it really it didn't work very well. Sega losing control. Cheap games for Sega systems could flood the market following recent legal action in America. A ruling by the United States Ninth Court of Appeals means that independent games programmers can now publish Mega Drive software without having to go through Sega first. Win Chun-Li and all the others. To celebrate the imminent arrival of the Amiga version of Street Fighter II, pictured here, US Gold are offering 3 sets of rather smart and rare Street Fighter character badges to the lucky winners of this compo. Microprose Formula 1 Grand Prix for GamesMasters, Misters and Boy Racers. Network Clash of the 32-bit Titans. Commodore and Atari are both launching 32-bit computers in the latest episode of their long-running rivalry. I never knew they were 32-bit. Yeah, I really wish I got into PCs when I was younger. But nobody had one. Let's have a look at this here. The A1200 will retail at the unbelievably low price of $399.99, while the Falcon retails at $499.99 for the entry-level 1MB machine, while the 4MB machine with a 64MB hard disk will sell at £899. Yeah, but way too much money for us, that when I was younger. Mega Drive Street Fighter. Is it happening or what? Sega is releasing hit game Street Fighter, the Championship Edition for the Mega Drive. The game has proved a winner for the SNES players, but Sega reckons their version will be king of the hill. I've got to admit, I did prefer the Mega Drive version over the SNES version, just because of the speed. It just played better, in my opinion. I mean, I had the option of playing it on the SNES and the Mega Drive, but I always preferred the Mega Drive version. The graphics on SNES were incredible, but the gameplay with Mega Drive for me. EA goes to the opera. MC Sonic. In the wake of ambassadors of Funk's Super Mario Land and Dr. Spin's Tetris comes the completely hardcore kicking and sadly inevitable HWA, Hedgehogs with Attitude, and their tribute to Sega's well-known superhero. Action Replay versus Game Genie. Things are hotting up in the cheap market. Detail, responsible for the Action Replay cartridge, have now got one ready for all systems. Game Genie. I've actually got one of them with the code book as well. It's in really good condition too. I might do a video on it, you know, and go through codes. Head Games. French invent time travel. The Press Corner. It's that bit of the magazine where we pounce utterly unfairly on a few of the latest software house press releases and mercilessly belittle them to give you a few cheap laughs. More network charts, diary dates. Jot them down, use them for reference, pester your Christmas-hating parents with them. These are the events of the forthcoming 5 or 6 weeks that no serious gamester can afford to ignore. So yeah, I think it's going about GamesMaster. Things like 1992, Thursday, 3rd of December, Friday, 4th of December. Kickoff for consoles. Kickoff has finally made the jump from computers to consoles. Anco's SNES version resembles the original version quite closely. Sensible Soccer 92-93 season. One of the best-selling Amiga games of the year. Sensible Soccer is now available in a new and improved deluxe, not tested on animals format. Yeah, you've got a brew. Could be a long one, this. I'm on a decaf coffee with half a sugar. So what's this? The official charts, month ending November, courtesy of Virgin Retail. So we've got the Super NES, which is Street Fighter 2, Zelda 3, Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Lemmings, and Super Soccer. Mega Drive, European Club Soccer. You know what, that were actually a good game. We played that quite a lot when I was younger. It is a good football game, that. NHLPA 93, Aliens 3, Tasmania, Speedball 2. Master System, Sonic the Hedgehog, excellent game. I loved that game. Because I had a Master System when I was younger first, before I got the Mega Drive. And I pestered my mum for Sonic. I actually got it for my birthday. Loved it. Completed everything about it. Under an hour, with all emeralds, without dying. Loved it. So Aliens 3, Enduro Racer, Prince of Persia, World Grand Prix, Amiga Zool, tough game is that. Putty, Campaign, Sensible Soccer, and Lotus 3. What's this here? Oh, NES. Turtles, Super Mario 3, Hyper Soccer, Tiny Toons, Mega Man 3, Game Gear, Chuck Rock, Spider-Man, Olympic Gold, Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Kickoff, Game Boy, Super Mario Land, Tiny Toons, WWF Superstars, Batman, Return of the Joker, Mega Man, Atari Lynx, Switchblade 2, Steel Talons, Batman Returns, Shadow of the Beast, and Kung Food. With Road Rash 2 and Lotus Turbo Challenge, you can play head-to-head with your dear old dad. Well, whoopee. I'd have to say Road Rash a bit better one in them. I mean, Lotus, swear God, I love the music in Lotus. Both good games, but I'd have to give it to Road Rash. You melted the dragon, vaulted the drawbridge, waded the swamp, and forgot about the dinosaur eggs. Try a spell in Woolworths. Oh dear, it's Dominik's big purple column. Yes, here it is. Jutting proud and firm at the very prow of the GamesMaster magazine is my own little shaft of sunlight, hoping to raise even the most flagging of plant life from soil bed they call life. Yeah, I'm not the best reader. You've got to keep up with me on these. I'm not the best reader. Every month I'll be writing a load of rubbish about myself, GamesMaster games, and that wonderful adventure called life. Dominik's top 5. Each month I'll give a rundown of 5 games which are currently pumping my nads to previously unheard of extremes. CAC Game of the Month. Yes, for every EastEnders there's an Eldorado just waiting to irritate your bowels, and this month it has to be the outrageous, inept Splatterhouse on the Mega Drive. No way. Gracious blood and guts do not a good game make. As Norman Lamont says, this is a monotonous, sad, pathetic, boring, and it smells. Lots of people have bought this game. I worry for the future of this fine country. Like Splatterhouse is bad. What are you on about, Dominik? It's one of my favourite games. I've even got the Splatterhouse 1 t-shirt on today. I didn't even think it had mentioned Splatterhouse. No way. Closing credits. Dominik's famous friends. Overdosed on gravity rays. Down to your last energy bar and plagued by killer mushrooms. Yeah, I remember seeing that picture. It was pretty gross, weren't it? With mushrooms on his tongue. Yeah, CAC Game of the Month, Splatterhouse on the Mega Drive. Not having that, Dominik. TV news. Let's face it, only GamesMaster packs the punch of Frank Bruno, the wit of Tony Slattery, and the collective cool of Take That in just 10 short weeks. Who else can deliver the irony of Vinnie Jones playing soccer brawl and the glory of the Gladiators and a WWF spectacle starring Hacksaw Jim Duggan and British Bulldog? The GamesMaster TV show has done all this and more. Yeah, they used to get celebrities on, didn't they? And they used to do like competitions. What's this? Gooner striker Ian Wright faces a flurry of stiff challenges during a bout of Super Kickoff. Christian Schmid bulletin board using neighbours nice guy swaps his school kit for a blazer of a different kind as a laser pistol. I don't know what he was playing there. New Year's extravaganza. Sick bags ahoy. The Games Arena. Greetings, welcome to the Games Arena. This is your chance to join battle with your fellow readers in a bid for the title GamesMaster Magazine Champion. The challenge. There's only one game that is challenging enough to justify a challenge of such challenging proportions. Street Fighter 2 on the SNES. The greatest beat 'em up in the world. Adrian and James can use any characters they want, and it's the best of 3 fights. Let the battle commence. Turn to page 26. Yeah, Prince of Persia. Tough game. I think I first saw this at my friend's house. They were on a PC. I can't remember what it were. I think it were an Apple PC. He had Flight Simulator. He had Wolfenstein and Prince of Persia and Elf. A game called Elf. That were good. But Prince of Persia was just way too hard for me. Stunning to look at. I've got it for Mega CD. I might have a blast on it. See how far I can get on it. Right. Star Wars. This is from Ubisoft at price $24.99. It might be 15 years late, but there's a reason for that. They didn't have any Game Boys in those days. Available December for Game Boy. Mr. Nuts Ocean Super NES $39.99. Available January. Yeah, I never played that. I know they did a lot of competitions on it though. You know, on these game shows. Jimmy Connor's Pro Tennis Tour from Ubisoft for the Super NES. Super Tennis was the best tennis game, I reckon. So hang on, I think my joypad's come loose. Wait a minute, I didn't want to be Chun-Li. Can we start again? Round 1, fight 1, round 2. Excuses, eh? I wouldn't mind if he said my brain's not working or my eyes aren't plugged in, but no, git. James Bond 3, Operation Starfish. This is for the Amiga, Mega Drive and SNES, Easter 1993. Yeah, I could never get into James Bonds. They're pretty hard games for me. I might have a try of them again, because they were hard when I was younger, so they might be a bit easier now. There's something fishy going on. On the moon? No, sorry. It's something cheesy. James Bond's arch enemy, Dr. Maybe, has set up a base there. It turns out that the moon is made of cheese after all. A map to make your mouth water. It'll also help you guide you through the moon's mysterious maze of secret routes and passages. Let's have a look what these are doing now. Right, I'm getting it together now. Yes, double kick, have some of that. Leech, oh dear. Work, bloody joypad. Oh, where are all my special moves? Oh, Onda's crap. He's not a bad character, he's Onda. So more of James Bond. James Bond 3 in the development stages. Yeah, it is quite small writing. That's why I said if you put it on a big TV, like a TV or a full screen on your computer. So I'm just reading bits out, but like I say, I'm not the best reader. The equipment. Here's a selection of the handy items which Pond finds on the moon. The man who would be Pond. 1 minute Chris Sorrell was leaving school. The next he was drawing for veteran programmer Steve Back. Together they brought Spitting Image, Dogs of War and Fire and Brimstone to the Amiga and the Atari ST. The Man Who Would Be Pond. A no expand spurred Polaroid picture of James Pond author Chris Sorrell at Mission Control at his desk. Yeah, the graphics and colours were brilliant. You know, on James Pond. The music were good as well. So there's Gunship 2000 from Micropause to Price to Be Arranged for Amiga. Micropause are quite well known for producing the odd decent simulation, so whenever a new one appears on the horizon, there's usually an expectant buzz of anticipation around the industry. So where exactly do Sims go from here? I've just got Ace Combat 7 on Steam, and I've bought a flight stick, the Thrustmaster, and I'm really looking forward to playing on it. It's supposed to be a good game, and that Thrustmaster is a decent stick as well, apparently. So what are we doing here? Right, they're still fighting, aren't they? I've got you now, James. Har. Have some little stabby kicks. Why am I stunned? I shall not be denied the title, even if I have to resort to real physical violence. Yeah, I remember that, playing games with some of my friends. They used to get really mad. Really mad. You know, when we beat them. It's that VR cyberdelia. 60 minutes of sensory overload. Unchain your brain. Includes 2 pairs of special effects specs. Out now. I don't know what that is. Elite 2 from Konami. To be announced, the price for Amiga. And available in January. The forthcoming Elite 2 has been hailed as the most eagerly awaited game ever. It could well be true. Elite 1 changed the face of computing when it arrived on the BBC Micro in 1984, and people still talk about it now. I've never heard of it. Like I said, we're mainly console gamers when we were younger. It looks pretty good, actually. Drop Zone for Game Boy. A bit like that old school shoot 'em up Defender, Drop Zone is a fast paced collect the hostages from the evil aliens before they eat them sort of a game. Wing Commander from Mindscape for the SNES, price to be announced, available February. No, I never played this. Heard about it, but never played it. The time, 2654 Anno Domini. The place, outer space. On board the Tiger's Claw. Right, men, those dirty, kill-wrathy cats have attacked more of our shipping. We are at war. Get to the ships. Your mission is simple. Find them and kill them. We got Speedball 2 on the Game Boy. It was a good game though, like Mega Drive. When we played against each other, but against computer, it was just way too hard. Walker by Psygnosis on the SNES, available January. From those nice chaps at DMA who brought you the extra cute lemmings comes a very violent shoot 'em up. You take charge of an ED-209 type robot, or be Ed-209. A desolate wasteland shooting everything in sight. It's simple in design but addictive. I've never heard of that. I might look into that. Walker. Road Rash 2 Electronic Arts to be announced for the Mega Drive, available January. The classic bike game has long been a Mega Drive favourite amongst people that have playing it. It is a good game. Actually, the Road Rash 1 were good. They're both good games. Yeah, 2-player mode. When we used to get chased by police, on police bike. So it was by Konami, Road Rash from Konami, but Road Rash 2 were Electronic Arts. Is that right? I thought Electronic Arts did Road Rash as well. Oh, that's for the Amiga. January. Imagine, if you will, a terrifying world in which young folk have powerful motorcycles and are not afraid to race them at excessive speeds. Dixon's, yeah, I remember Dixon's. #1 in Britain for the latest video game action. #1 for a huge range of games, consoles and accessories. Over 200 top titles in stock now. Free Simpsons or Smash TV LCD game with this voucher. Yeah, we're good in Dixon's. It had everything from stereos, TVs. I can't remember if they sold fridges, you know, refrigerators and cookers. I can't remember. Dixon's, yeah, we're brilliant, that shop. Win £2,000 of console hardware and quite a bit of software besides. As the party poppers pop and the top deck floors, the impossibly extravagant celebrations of the first issue of GamesMaster magazine set up a gear. Why? Honestly, I might be reading it wrong. It just doesn't sound right, that. Why? Because it's competition time, and what a special competition it is too. Our mad Chester mates at Ocean have stumped up some marvellous prizes, guaranteed to get even the most miserable sit in the corner and mope party pooper skipping and leaping for joy. Now that's a serious competition. You got Neo Geo, a Super NES, a Mega Drive, an Amiga, Game Gear, Game Boy, and apparently there's more as well. I only ever heard of a Neo Geo from this lad, this one of my friends, and I never knew what he were on about. Neo Geo, he'd always mention it, and I never really understood what he were on about. But it's that, the arcade machine for rich kids. I think they were like £600 when I was younger. Never even saw one. Right, here we go. The questions. Cool World. Tell us the name of the character played by Kim Basinger. Is it Holly Could, Hollywood, or Holly Should? I don't know. Lethal Weapon. What's Mel Gibson's character's first name? Is it Derek, Martin, or Jack? I don't know. WWF. Spot the real WWF wrestler. Is it Ultra Warrior, Rabid Ronnie Rottweiler, or Hacksaw Jim Duggan? I know that one. That's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I would have entered that competition if I would have known about it. Yeah, here we've got some advertisements. We've got Zen 2, Lemmings, Harley Quinn. Never heard of that one before. These are really small writing. 3D Construction Kit, 3D Construction Kit 2. That's Amiga software. Formula 1 Grand Prix, Fun School 2. Fun School 2. New Zealand Story, Pac-Mania. What's that one there? Infod File Database, NOP 39.99. Amiga 600 package deal. Amiga 600 Lemmings pack 279.99. Free Dulux Paint 3. Lemmings membership. Handheld Sega Game Gear with Sonic and Sega mains adapter 129.99. Sega Game Gear with columns is 99.99. A Sony KMV 14-inch FST Color TV monitor. Free SCART lead and free membership. £200. Quick Shot Supervision handheld console. Never heard of that. Quick Shot Supervision handheld. We've got £10 off a game offer for Mega Drive. Choose from 2 great Mega Drive package deals. Sega Mega Drive with Sonic, $129.99. Sega Mega Drive Streets of Rage pack with Sonic, $149.99. Yeah, Streets of Rage were brilliant. Yeah, I've got that arcade stick. I never played with that one. Never played with that one, but I did see it once. I don't think it worked that well when it went sharp in like a games exchange shop and we were using it. I don't think it worked that well. These third-party pads didn't work very well, but that one there, we had that and that worked brilliant. That was one of my favourite pads. That it was like a see-through clear plastic. That was good. That was a good pad. That I never knew what it was for. I think it was something to do with music. Quick Joy foot pedal for Mega Drive transfers any functions to foot pedals. Saw it, but never really took it. Mega Drive games, yeah, that's really small. Is that? For a free colour catalogue, call 0279 600 204. Choose from 3 great Super NES package deals. Super NES with Super Mario pack, Super NES with Street Fighter pack, Super NES and Scope pack. Yeah, good game, that Super Scope 6. Annual membership. Reviews. Steel yourself, dear reader, for you're about to enter the reviews section, an area so dangerously crammed with giddyingly exciting new releases that it should certainly be read in short bursts and probably with a Red Cross unit nearby. So we've got Axelay, that's for SNES. You played that, that's a really good game. Bart's Nightmare, that's a good game. Caesar, I don't think I've played that. Curse of Enchantia, Desert Strike. Yeah, there's quite a few to get through here, isn't there? Right, let's crack on. What are we on there? Yeah, I really don't know how long this is going to be. It's not saying how long I've done. Oh yeah, there it is, 32 minutes. Right, Nigel Mansell's World Championship. I used to love the look of these Formula 1 games. This is for the Amiga from Gremlin. Price $29.99. Memory 1 MB. Graphics, it's fast, it's smooth, and the other cars on the track are works of art. So that got 83%. I never played that Nigel Mansell's one. It looks good. It doesn't have the depth of Formula 1 GP, but it's more of a racing game. The circuits are taxing and all different, so there's lots to see and do for all the family. Legends of Valor. I've heard about this. I think this got a good review. For the Amiga from US Gold, $37.99. GamesMaster tip. To move round the town a lot faster, you must find 7 League boots. These are located in a building near the start location. Simply turn left and enter the grey building via the door facing to the west. Yeah, I got 90%, that's good. An astounding and utterly essential game. It has humour, gorgeous graphics, an instinctive control method, and heaps of longevity. Makes all the previous attempts at the genre seem dull and predictable. Yeah, looks good. Looks like a point and click, doesn't it? So we've got Axelay. Despite all the hype, what Axelay boils down to is a 6-level shoot 'em up with some impressive Mode 7 graphics. Yeah, it was stunning to look at, this game. I have it on my I have a flash card for, you know, with all games on, like an EverDrive but for SNES. It's not the EverDrive, it's from AliExpress, but it works fine. And Axelay, we're playing this quite a bit. It's a good game. Axelay is a gorgeous game. Okay, so this is gorgeousness slows occasionally. You can just about live with that if the gameplay is excellent, can't you? Ah, but the gameplay doesn't quite keep up with the look of it. 80%. Right, so we've got a GamesMaster tip. To kill the bosses in Axelay, it's always best to aim for the centres. A burst of fire here is far more effective than randomly spraying. Out of this world. See, is this not like Flashback? Or another world? Or is it the same lot? Or is it the same game? Yeah, I could never play this game. This was way too hard for me. So you know how it is. You hop into your Ferrari and pay a quick visit to your top secret laboratory for a spot of tinkering with your highly advanced particle acceleration experiments. Before you know it, you've been unceremoniously excuse me, teleported to a strange, surreal dimension where faceless automatons wield deadly laser rifles and grotesque beasts stalk you across barren, jagged landscapes. So this is for the SNES from Interplay. Available January, price $19.99, memory 8 megabytes. The Man from Atlantis or not? I know the graphics were next generation. They were really good to look at. You know, the animation. So options none. Levels 14 scenes. Difficulty no settings. 73%. A moody and extremely playable piece of software sci-fi. Be warned, it's not for beginners or those of you used to a more immediate blasting fix. Yeah, tough game that. At Toys R Us, free Nintendo video games with Cool Collect. Just collect 4 tokens and receive a free NES game. Collect just 5 tokens and receive a free Game Boy game. Buy any NES or Game Boy system and you will receive 2 tokens. Yeah, Toys R Us were good. Sonic 2. But Mega Drive from Sega, available now, $39.99. Remember this from the original game? The idea is to dislodge the ugly spherical git like the thing from one side of the seesaw, then quickly nip over to the other side as he lands, propelling you nicely upwards. Yeah, I don't think they give it a good review, this, you know. GamesMaster tip. In the Metropolis zone, you will encounter a nut and bolt platform. To control this, position yourself in the centre and run right or left to move the platform up or down. Yeah, cheers for tip, GamesMaster. Just to prove that we really did complete Sonic 2, here's a run through of the 11 zones. Most are easy. Some have 1 or 2 complex bits, but none are going to tax your dexterity beyond unreasonable levels. Emerald Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, Aquatic Ruin. Some good music on these games. Death Egg. That's probably the hardest one for me. 65%. Sonic 2 is an important new release. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite justify itself as a sequel. The changes are there, but they're just not profound enough to transform the game into an essential buy for owners of the original. Honestly. So you've got brilliant graphics, pretty good sound, pretty good playability. Last ability is like the lowest one. Flipping heck, I'm still playing Sonic 2 even in this day and age. What's that? When did it come out? 93? 25 years ago and I'm still playing it. 65%. The Home Planet. Phone Home. So I've never heard of that, the Home Planet. Yeah, just advertisements, aren't they? Pushover. Puzzle games, eh? Don't you just love them? So what's this on? Options, 1 set up. Levels, 100. Difficulty, 1 setting. Oh, it's for SNES. $44.99, 4 megabytes. Never heard of it, Pushover. 85%. Never heard of it. Desert Strike. This is for the SNES by Electronic Arts. Price £45. Flying from the helipad. Love this on Mega Drive. To be honest, I didn't even know it came out on SNES. I never really saw it. You know, in swap shops when we went in. This was the game on the Mega Drive for ages, and rightly so. Despite its rather dodgy theme, Desert Strike won over all who saw it, apart from the occasional miserable git. So now it's on the SNES, and it's just as good. GamesMaster tip: when attacking large defended installations, save ammunition by hiding behind the buildings and letting the defenders destroy them as they try to hit your helicopter. Here, a power station is being shot at by its own side while the helicopter remains safely beyond reach. Another tip: when you fly over the sea, you use no fuel, so if you have to get from the top of the map to the bottom, go a little way out to sea first, then turn parallel to the coast, turn inland when you are close to the target. They are good tips actually then. Yeah, nice one, GamesMaster. I love the Mega Drive version of Desert Strike, and I'm hugely impressed with this conversion. Everything that worked well in the original version is here. 87. Desert Strike, good on the Mega Drive, good on the SNES. This version is fast, slick, playable and nice to look at. Pro Action Replay, the ultimate game-busting cartridge for the Super NES, and now available for the Game Boy. Didn't even know it came out on Game Boy. Yes, with the Action Replay cartridge, you can now play your favourite games to destruction. Now you can play American and Japanese cartridges on your UK console. $14.99. I used to have the Honeybee one of them. We're called a Honeybee. It was like a gold cart. And that was like a converter. Gadzooks. That's got to be the biggest front and in the history of American footy games. John Madden 93. Yeah, I could never get into John Madden games. Tried them. Just couldn't play them. Didn't know, have a clue what we were doing. Let's get one thing straight from the beginning. John Madden Football is simply the best video game of all time. The 92 version appeared 1 year on from launch of the original John Madden Football and took the game's playing world by storm. Never even got a touchdown. %. John Madden 93 is simply the most sophisticated, intriguing and complex game available on any system anywhere. If you fancy yourself as having a brain as well as fast trigger finger, this is the game for you. Well, that's me, I've not got no brain. Yeah, they were too hard for me. Two of a kind, the winners, Populous. Never got into Populous. You are a supreme being with the power to command the forces of nature, earthquake, floods, volcanoes and oceans. Power to turn plains into barren rocks and oceans into fertile land with promise of plenty. Kickoff. SNES. Exhaust Heat. Nope, never played this. This is for the SNES. Konami. Price $39.99. I must admit to being a bit of a sucker when it comes to race games, especially on the Super Nintendo. Overall, 67. It's a shame that for virtually every nice thing about Exhaust Heat, there's a downside. During practice, it's super quick, so it's annoying that it slows down when racing with the other cars. Lotus Turbo Challenge. Yeah, the music was brilliant on this. Off at Mega Drive. Electronic Arts, $39.99. At 79%, Lotus Turbo Challenge is a great looking game and offers fast and furious action all the way. Yeah, I remember that screen. It was a good game. Save £10 on all home computers and games console with the presentation of this ads in the GamesMaster zone. Get yourself and this ad to the nearest GamesMaster zone before the 24th of December 1992 and you can get £10 off any home computer or games console. I remember Comet as well. Joe Montana 3, is it? For Mega Drive, another American football game. 80%. While not coming anywhere near John Madden in the gameplay department, Joe Montana 3 isn't really all that bad. Nah, not for me. Bart's Nightmare. Now this is an expensive game. Oh, this is on the SNES by Acclaim, £40. Yeah, this is really shot up in price. 54%? Can they squeeze much more from The Simpsons? It does capture the look of the cartoon, but it fails to portray them in a way that will suit all. The sub-games are not very strong, and if you're a persistent type of games player, you will finish this in a short time. The rest of you will take a while. Not the game for serious buyers, but if you're a Simpsons fan, can you be all that serious? 54%. I thought it got a good rating. I played it on Mega Drive and it was pretty good. Unless it's a different game. I mean, it's called The Bart's Nightmare, you know, but it might be a different game altogether. I'm surprised at that. 54. I'm surprised at Sonic 2. And I'm surprised at Splatterhouse. Console Mania. American Super NES. Let's see what these are. Adam's Family, Axelay, $44.99. Gameland. Win the arcade game Street Fighter 2 Black Belt Edition. Top scores. Top score games have no draws and no tiebreakers. The highest score wins every week. What's this? Super Mario Land 2, 89%. That's for Game Boy. Import, $29.95, 4 megabytes. Super Mario Land is no longer the best cart that you can get for your Game Boy. The sequel is bigger, better and nicer to look at. LMP GamesMaster. What's that? A mains adapter for the Game Boy. A 10-hour rechargeable battery power pack. A widescreen magnifier for the Game Gear. Sega Mega Drive carry case. A Game Boy carry case. The light magnifier, I used to have that. Master System 2 carry case. Micro Machines. Good game. That were a good game. That's on the NES. 20 quid. 91%. Kung Food. Never heard of that. Atari Lynx. Alright, that's why. 72%. That got a good rating, didn't it? Super Space Invaders. 55%. Premier Manager. 81%. Could never get into them Premier Manager games. I know a few of my mates loved them. That's all they played with Premier Manager. Just bored me to death. I mean, I'm not really a football fan anyway, so... what's this? Wizard Games. Amiga Games. Budget titles. Joysticks. What's that? Either compilations or competitions, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that clever at reading Old English. Lemmings. It had to happen. Little green creatures are starting to take over everywhere. So this is on the Mega Drive by Sunsoft, $39.99. 80%. With all the hype surrounding Sonic 2's, it's a pity that games like Lemmings will not get the attention they deserve. Yeah, I used to play that at Mega Drive. Good game, good music. Britain's best-selling Sega magazine, Sega Power. Look out for it. Look out for the new issue. We review Road Rash 2, Mickey and Donald in World of Illusion, Sonic 2 on the Game Gear, plus loads more. On sale Thursday, the 3rd of December. So more advertisements. JMJ Computer Games. The newest and best. Caesar. Did we not just review that? I think they did, didn't they? 88%. Curse of Enchantia from the Amiga by Core Design. 88%. Never heard of that. Zenon 2. Game Boy. 76%. Pit Fighter Master System. 20%. Shadow of the Beast. The Atari Lynx. 59%. Swamp Thing, 35%. That's on the Game Boy. Shadow of the Beast looks good. I know it did look nice, you know, it parallax scrolling. Apparently the Amiga version is better. Got Spider-Man 2 on Game Boy, 62%. Terminator on the Game Gear, 84%. Pinball Fantasies, 90% on the Amiga. I think I played something like that on PlayStation. Good game. McDonald Land, and that's on the NES, 41%. For $19.95, we'll fix your life. Well, alright, that's not strictly true. Okay, that's not even remotely true. But what we will do for £20 is fix it for you when we have a whole year's worth of GamesMaster mags delivered straight to your door. £20. No way. That's quite cheap, is that? Where's it? Somerton, Somerset. That's way down south. On sale December 3rd, 1992. Total. I don't remember that one. Super NES, Game Boy, NES. 100% for players of Nintendo. No. Answer some questions or lose your mind. Stop. Don't turn to the page just yet. It would be the worst mistake of your life. Imagine it. You turn the page and read the rest of the magazine and have a very nice time too. But because you don't get all the way to the end of this questionnaire, you don't get the chance to tell us what you really don't like. Those little snippery bits of text down the sides of pages. And because you don't tell us, we don't change them. Right, tell us about yourself. Where do you live? How old are you? Are you male or female? Are you in full-time employment? What is your approximate annual income? What do you do when you're not playing video games? Which of the following do you own or intend to buy? Which of the following TV programs do you regularly watch? Which of the following money accounts do you hold, intend to open within the next 6 months? What bank credit cards do you have or plan on getting in the next 6 months? Tell us about your system, extras, your 5 favourite games. Score the following styles of game out of 10. Yeah, if you want to read that, I'll let you pause it. Here we go. Sega Mega Drive. Win a Sega Mega Drive. Call now. Look at that. Mega CD. Beautiful, that. Win a Sega Mega CD. Call now. Win a copy of Sonic 2. Oh, and something to play it on. Nice telly that. That is a nice telly. Sonic 2 and a 28-inch TV to win. Tell me more. How to enter. All you have to do is take this issue of the mag along to a Comic Game Zone where during the month of December you will find a Mega Drive playing Sonic 2. Take a look at Sonic 2's title screen, then look at the screen on these pages. Notice anything odd. As soon as you should be able to tell, we have made 5 subtle changes to it. All you have to do is ring the changes on the picture in the mag, write down what they are, and then drop the coupon into one of the special GamesMaster Sonic 2 competition boxes. Now let's see if we can find them. Right, so obviously his eyes, that's 1. The colour, that's 2. 3 could be the wings. 4, tail's hand. And 5. I don't know. And I'm a big Sonic fan as well. I couldn't tell you. Did I say the colour of the banner? That's 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4, the colour. I don't know. Nice telly though, that, isn't it? The official licensed video game preserver. Super NES Video Games Preserver 3-pack holds Super NES cartridges and a 30-page instruction booklet, available in a rainbow of colours, $4.99. We've been doing now nearly an hour. Greetings, welcome to my domain. Over the next 20 pages, we will be dealing with the business of games and more precisely game completion. From my extensive memory banks, I have selected information on 4 recent and particularly tricky releases and have issued advice and guidance for each. Right, let's get on here. Krusty's Super Funhouse. Played a lot of this on Mega Drive. SNES Mega Drive. Set it up there. I don't know which one they're showing though. It looks like the Mega Drive version. Right, so if you want to have a look at the tips on this. Yeah, me and my mate used to play this. His mum used to play it a lot. And she used to write up passwords down. She used to play like Talmit's Adventure. She played this a lot. And she used to write up passwords down. And we'd come back from school and she'd have a list of passwords, you know, that she'd done. Bless her. WizKid, the UK's #1 video game club. Zool, Ninja from the Nth Dimension. The way to cheat. Now you can either be all pure and honest, follow our tips faithfully and actually get better at the game. Right, press 1 to make Zool invincible. Be careful when picking up the shields. They will make the invincibility period finite. And when Zool stops flashing, you will need to press 1 again. So I think that's going to be on Amiga, ain't it? Music World. Yeah, that was cool. That was smart. The Secret Games Master Room. Shameless plug or legit screenshot. That's legit, that, ain't it? That we're really there. Gear up your boy or gear. I never had that. I never had that. Never had that. No, I don't think I had any of them. I had the big grey Game Boy box. Zelda Link to the Past. Excellent game. I got to Dark World and that were it for me. I just couldn't do it. Spent a long time on this game. Music's fantastic. Graphics are brilliant as well. I might have a blast. I've got it on SNES. I might have a blast through it. See if I'll be able to do it after all these years. Shadow of the Beast 3. GamesMaster tips. Putty. No, never heard of that. Piracy. On the High Seas. No, never heard of that. Olympic Gold. Game Gear, Master System, Mega Drive. Yeah, I think I remember playing that a few times actually on Mega Drive. The swimming one we used to play a lot, and the archery one. Yeah, we had that, and the diving one. Yeah, I remember that game. Action Replay and Game Genie. Adventureland 2, Batman, Blades of Steel, Blue Shadow. They're quite interesting to have because the people that haven't got the codes, you know, the code book, it's impossible to use. I was lucky to get the book with mine. Still quite hard to read there though. HRC, 9ED, 9ND. They're quite hard them. Unless it's because it's the way the page has been folded. I've never seen that controller before. Sales Hotline, Super Nintendo, Game Boy. Consultation Chamber, Axel A. Towards the end of level 3, stay near the top edge of the screen when the spaceship appears. If you are still in possession of all around weapons, use that and keep blasting until the enemy dies. Yeah, there's a lot of tips. Mario Brothers 3, Castlevania, Simpsons. I hated that game. That was really hard, that. I think that were on Master System. Oh, Bart versus the Space Mutants. You had to spray everything purple, I think. It were hard. It were an hard game, that. Free swaps. Can you really be the best without the knowledge? Mega, Super, Total, Amiga format, Amiga Power, PC format, Commodore and Sega Power. Yeah, I used to love looking at all these pictures. What's that? Oh, it's Sweets, Scalextric, Super NES. Grab all this. Win a Mario pinball machine. Games Market. Yeah, loads of advertisements. We're nearly coming to end now. And it is really small writing, that. Like there, that's really small. SCART lead, $9.95. I wish I would have had a SCART lead. Never really understood them until about 10 years ago. You know, about composite and RGB. Never really knew about it. What's this? An Amiga A600, Amiga CD TV, the Multimedia Computer Total, Home Entertainment System, Panasonic KX-P2123, CD TV, software, Amiga CD TV, external hard disk drive, Computer World, Commodore Amiga A1 or as A1500. I remember that. I think it were on an advert. It used to come on adverts with a Quavers dog. Mega Drive, Super NES, Game Gear. Then we got monitors. Free Turbo Challenge with a Philips monitor. Mailbyte, Tetra Games Library, Mega Master, Advertisers Index, Video Games of America. So I think these are your imports. I can't even see that. Super Mario Kart, $41.99. Yeah, there's quite a bit cut off there as well. Super Cauldron. Never heard of that. Oh, horoscopes. Every young person occasionally feels the need to prise their fingers away from the joypad and seek out the more mystical and ethereal solutions to the boredom problem. Do you hold a rather desperate and deluded belief that a collection of gravitational masses millions of light years away could conceivably exert some form of influence upon your life, then gather around and listen in hushed wonder as our own stargazer, Andromeda supernova, pretends to believe in it as well. I'm Gemini, so let's have a look. A change is coming. It could be for the better, or then again, it could be for the worse. Of course, there's always the possibility that it might not even happen at all. Changes are like that, you see. Let's have a read of another one. Libra, right, you are definitely coming into money this month. I see hand passing over several pieces of paper. I see your elated face. I see you signing your name on something and handing it to a man behind a glass screen. Oh dear. The absolutely tragic GamesMaster Christmas board game. Are you a GamesMaster? The aim of the game is simple. Guide yourself through 4 puzzle-packed worlds, answering questions as you go. Next month, Alien vs Predator, BC Kid, Chaos Engine, Cool World, Crash Dummies, Spider-Man 2, Super Star Wars, Terminator 2, the arcade game, and Wing Commander. The Curse of Enchantia. That's going to be on the Amiga, that ain't it? I've never heard of that. And that's the end. Last page. See it creases in it there. Well, let's get back to the top. So that were a long one, weren't it? Over an hour. So I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it going through it. So I hope you're all alright. I hope you're all safe. And you lot take care. Bye everyone.